Hello, my loves. My name is Jasmine. I am your inner work coach, which means I'm here to help you learn how to love your life, love your relationships, and to live your best life. And today we're going to be talking about feminine energy. This video is for my girls that have felt that pull to wanting to be more feminine, for wanting to be softer, to wanting to be more relaxed and just try to figure out what this feminine energy thing is that everyone keeps talking about, but it just doesn't like looking at the content just makes you feel like, ugh. So I'm gonna try to put this in like the most chill way possible as a good introduction video. So then when people are talking about other things later on, you're able to connect better instead of it just being like you have to force yourself through watching a video with a girl that's like dressed to the nines, super proper, telling you, well, if you want to do this and you need to dress like this, like we're going to skip over that portion of it and kind of get to the root of feminine energy. So, to not waste any time, we're going to get straight to the point. The root of feminine energy is you when you are at your most relaxed, you're healed, you're safest, like that grounded. Grounded is like when you are just very calm and set in your way. You're very connected to your inner being and just connected and present. That version of you that usually comes out when you're with close friends or family, when you just feel like you can be your most authentic self. You feel like you can just be honest and that you can make jokes and that you can be into super weird things and you're not you may get made fun of for it, but you don't care that you're getting made fun of for it because it's like your besties or it's your family and it's the people that make you feel safe. The type of person that you are around those people, that is you in your feminine energy. If you have had your walls up for a while and you just can't even remember being that person, you can't be that person with your partner, with your family, with your friends, with strangers. Think about the person that you were before you got to that point where you had to put up the walls to protect yourself. I say this with caution because I don't believe in trying to go back to the person that we were at a certain time period. I just believe that we're always evolving into a new person and trying to get back to the person that we were is going to it's going to mess with you mentally. I don't think it's a good idea, but we're going to use that as a reference point for what it feels like to be in your feminine energy. Because a lot of the times when people talk about feminine energy, they tell you that you need to be a certain way or be doing a certain thing or dress a certain way, and that is going to be you and your feminine energy. And I'm here to tell you that that's not true. It's not about being feminine, it's not about wearing dresses and makeup and talking a certain way. Feminine energy is that person, like I said, that you are with your close friends and family. It's about you taking that person and feeling safe enough within yourself to be that person everywhere, to be that person with strangers, to be that person with people you're less comfortable with. It's learning how to embrace that inauthenticity. It's learning how to embrace that authenticity that you have with everyone. And that may feel dangerous or scary because it's like, well, that is exactly how I got hurt in the first place. That's exactly how this situation happened the last time. But the cool thing about feminine energy is you have two different sides. You have your light feminine energy, which is like your happy version, your free version, your playful self. Like that is your light feminine energy, almost very childlike. Your dark feminine energy is that aspect of yourself where, like with your close friends and your family, like my husband always says, for him, part of the reason that I knew that God had us put together is that I always felt very safe with him. And one of those ways that the safety manifested for me is that I felt safe to set boundaries with him. With everybody else, I struggled. I struggled so hard to set boundaries, but with him, I'm like, nope, I don't want to do that. This is my standard. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And I felt safe enough to do that without feeling like he was going to leave me. And so I was able to work on healing my attachment style, blah, 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 blah. Different story, different time, different video. But my point is that with certain people, we feel safe enough to set boundaries. We feel safe enough to cancel on. We feel safe enough to tell the truth. That dark feminine, that aspect of you is your dark feminine energy. So you have your light feminine energy that's playful and that's free and that's fun. And then you have your dark feminine energy that is the part of you that's more savage, that is comfortable setting boundaries, that's okay telling someone that you didn't like that joke or that's not funny, that is okay telling someone that you don't want to do something. And that part of yourself will protect you when you're using your feminine energy, or when you're in your feminine energy just out in the world. You're not just going to be super vulnerable, but you're going to be able to have a healthy way to protect yourself without putting up walls and being who you're not. I struggled a while with trying to figure out if I wanted to learn about feminine energy or be in my feminine energy, et cetera, because I have learned when, I was a kid, that like associating with things that men like sports or certain jokes, or like the way that they communicate, getting into that circle, like the man's circle, and, operating like them, I realized benefited me in a lot of ways. And I always felt like it benefited me in more ways to be a tomboy, or to figure out how to be one of the guys and to be like a chill girl or be a cool girl, instead of being in my feminine energy and having certain standards, et cetera, et cetera. So I understand completely not wanting to kind of veer away from that, because it is a place of safety. And the funny thing is feminine energy thrives on safety, and us choosing to act how men act in order to get further along in life and to feel comfortable and to feel safe is just really us protecting our feminine energy anyway. So I don't want you to be mad at yourself for spending time operating in a certain way and responding in a certain way, because having up that steel wall is what literally protected us. But we don't have to do that anymore. So, you being in your feminine energy is you learning how to be your healed, authentic, safe, confident self out there in the world with literally everybody else. And the thing is that when you realize that that is the essence of true feminine energy, of divine feminine energy, then you're able to learn about feminine energy and the small aspects that people throw in without it feeling shallow. For example, like getting dressed up and getting ready every day, where you'll see TikToks where they're like, if you want to be a feminine woman, then you need to make sure that you get dressed every day. You need to make sure you put your makeup on every day and spray your perfume and make sure your hair is done, because a feminine woman does not go outside looking crazy. A feminine woman will get dressed in her own home. But really, what the essence of it is, when you're in your feminine energy, you believe that you're worthy of being taken care of, and you believe in presenting as your best self because you can. And so when you present as your best self and you can present as your best self, part of that has to do with your appearance. It has to do with whether or not you feel like you are worth the effort of getting out of bed and getting ready. Are you yourself worth the effort of, even when you're at home, not putting on something that looks crazy just because I don't care about how I look, but I care about myself. And part of yourself is how you look. And so putting on something that makes you feel good. I my mom one time told me, where I was wearing something crazy. It was like a shirt that had like a stain on it, and it was either too small or too big. It was probably ripped. It looked crazy. It probably wasn't flattering in color, size, whatever. And she was like, "You are going to have to stop wearing stuff like that." And she said it in many more words than that, but I'm going to leave it at that, where she was like, at some point, like, you're going to have to stop. And I was so irritated at first. But when I started to transition to how I was dressing, and instead of wearing like an old t shirt that was comfortable, I just found comfortable, cute clothes, and I felt so much more cute because I was wearing something that was comfortable and cute. And it's like you can actually just do both. Like, people are like, "Oh, but like for me, I've realized I don't like wearing nightgowns." Like, people are like, "Just put on a cute nightgown." I love wearing dresses in general, wearing dresses out. I don't like wearing dresses to bed. So it's like you will learn the things that make you comfortable, but I can still find a cute short and t-shirt set instead of wearing something that's not going to be flattering because I care about myself. And because I care about myself, I always want myself to be feeling the best that I can. Why wouldn't you want yourself to be feeling the best that you can? And that, besides the rant, is the sentiment of getting dressed up and why it's so important to get ready every single day. Because it's not just feminine women don't look crazy. It's when you're in your feminine energy and when you're connected to the best version of yourself, you're going to want to take care of yourself. We take care of things that we love, like our friends and our family, like we take care of them, our kids, our pets, we take care of them. So when you love yourself, you're going to take care of yourself in the best way that you can. Another really good example of something that seems shallow is like the fact that we just get to be present and we get to change the things around us, our environment, how people act, like us being us at our truest selves can change that. And honestly, us being us, like even like if you're mad and you're not in a great mood, your demeanor by not even saying anything can change the energy of a room. And so the same thing can happen when you use that in a responsible way. And instead of you get into an argument with your man and you talk down to him and you're saying this and you're like, arguing and you're yelling and you're cussing him out, realizing that you can save your energy by not doing all of that and directing your energy to somewhere else. And he will still get the result that you want by not saying a single thing. And we don't have to use all of that energy to do that. We don't have to come out of that healed part of ourselves in order to get a man to change. And we don't have to deal with men that if we have to be at that point in that level to scream and to cuss and to argue and to scheme, to do all of those things, we don't have to be with a man that's going to cause us to want to have to do all of that. So the deeper that you get into learning about feminine energy and just the essence of it, the more that you'll be able to take these little tips and then just apply it because everything has a deeper meaning to it. It is absolutely worth it to learn about your feminine energy. It's worth it to learn how to become healed, how to become authentic, and how to just stop rejecting those natural things that come up um, within ourselves. And feminine energy, when people teach it in a way where it's like you need to act or behave a certain way in order to be feminine, just be wary of that because I don't believe that that's true. It's just like for some women, wearing dresses and heels, like boom, feminine energy, it just turns it on for them and it's just amazing. Like it just works out for them. For other women, sneakers, streetwear, they are so much more authentic and in their feminine energy when they're dressed a certain way. And they're just as magnetic and attractive as the woman that's wearing heels or the woman that's wearing like super elegant clothing. You can still be in your feminine energy and be yourself, but stop suppressing that desire. Because as soon as you release your hand off the suppression of the desire, then you will be able, life is going to get so much better. And it's just such a great journey to be on. And I'm really excited for you guys to try it out. Yeah, I would love to chat with y'all. Leave your questions and comments below. And I will see you guys in the next video. I am so excited for you to try this. Just let me know how it goes.